Hi everybody. So I decided to create this video because I am seeing an increase in young men and women who are getting dragged into these terrible online Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, social media scams, and the consequences have been pretty dire. Now, let me outline what I've been seeing here. And please understand, I'm only speaking from my own personal point of view. This isn't statistical. It's purely anecdotal. But this is what I've been seeing as a criminal defense lawyer. So it starts, the young man or woman, they start engaging with a person that they met online. That's either through text messages, through social media, somehow, in some way, shape, or form, they met this person online. There's frequent text messaging or communication between the two of them. And these messages start getting more personal, more intimate. Trust is established. And at some point, I don't know how, but at some point in the course of these messages, the young man or woman is convinced by this online stranger to send some information or some pictures that are very compromising. Either that information is deeply personal to the young man or woman, or the pictures would be very embarrassing if they were leaked to the young man or woman's family or social circle. And that's the hook. That's the hook right there. That's when the threat comes, and frankly, that's when the trap slams shut. At that point, the stranger becomes less of a friend and far more of an insidious enemy. The young man or woman to whom they've been talking to is then blackmailed into doing the scammer's bidding. That can range from buying thousands upon thousands of dollars worth of gift cards, sending the scammer his or her bank account information. In fact, actually, in one case, a young person was even blackmailed into picking up a package. So going to somebody else's house, picking up a package, and mailing it to the scammer at an international address. It's horrible to see what these scammers are convincing these young men and women to do. Ultimately, when the young man or woman gets caught by the authorities or is implicated in some kind of a scam, that young person is then charged with a criminal offense. Now, because these scammers are generally not located in the United States, it's rare. It does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is rare that they are held accountable, especially for the lives that they are in the process of destroying. These scammers are brutal. They are heartless, and they have absolutely no soul. They do not care who they hurt. They do not care about the consequences of their actions. And worst of all, these monsters view the young man or woman whom they have been manipulating as disposable. Now, there are steps that can be taken to deal with these terrible people. There absolutely are. There are ways to work with the authorities to bring these demons to justice. There are ways to legally address the blackmail and the manipulation to which the young man or woman has been subjected. Now, I'm posting this video because one of the absolute worst consequences that I have seen that's resulted from these scams is that the young man or woman was so distraught that he or she decided to try and hurt themselves. And that's a horrible consequence. And I genuinely hope and pray that any young person who's involved in something like this or has been caught by something like this, please, I'm begging you, reach out for help. There are ways. There are ways of handling this stuff. There are ways of dealing with it. And I beg of you, no, self-harm is not the solution, okay? It's not. There are legal avenues that can be taken to deal with these vicious scammers. If this is happening to you or someone that you love, please contact a qualified lawyer right away. It doesn't have to be me. It can be any lawyer that you're comfortable talking to, but please talk to the lawyer. There are ways of legally dealing with this. There are ways of handling this. It's not the life-ending situation that might come to mind. It's not. There are ways of handling this. We can handle this. But please contact a lawyer as soon as possible. I'm posting this video and I'm hoping it reaches somebody, and I'm hoping that it stops somebody from hurting themselves. You know, these scammers are terrible and terrible people. They don't care about what they're doing. They don't care about the people that they're hurting. But know that the people that are around you, they love you and they do care. There are ways of legally dealing with this. You don't have to go to the extreme. So please, if this is happening to you, reach out for help. Okay, that's the message.